Today, we're talking about what it really looks like to do the work. Not the curated version, not the pretty version, but the kind that asks you to be honest, to break patterns, and to rebuild from a place of truth. I'm joined by Stacey Nye, the co-founder of the F.I.X Code. It's a transformational space rooted in accountability, inner healing, and change. Stacey's work is about more than surface-level growth. It's about confronting the things we've normalized, unlearning what no longer serves us, and stepping fully into who we were always meant to be. In this conversation, we're unpacking what it means to stop surviving and start doing the deep, intentional work to actually live whole, aware, and aligned. If you've been feeling the pull to shift, to heal, to finally choose yourself in a different way, this episode is your confirmation. Let's get into it. Hi, I am your host, Leonette Talley, and you are listening to Virago 24/7. Virago is Latin for female warrior, and 24/7 is for all day, every day. Virago 24/7 is a weekly podcast that brings diverse women together to talk about life and our experiences in this world. We share our views on self-love, mental health, marriage, children, friendships, and really anything that needs to be talked about. Here, you will find everyday growth, everyday healing with everyday warriors. Just give me my space to move. It's my thoughts, what I want, and I want what I want. I'm very, very good.
Good. I'm so excited to talk to you, especially since it's been like almost 2 weeks. No, it has been 2 weeks since we spoke.
Yeah.
And so today we have on Virago 24/7, we have Stacey Nye. So you are the co-creator of it's called the F.I.X Code. And so do you teach leaders, organizations, you coach, or is it more like individuals?
It's both.
Is it?
So this can be used in corporations for sales teams, for HR departments, learning how to do this. It can be put into school systems where like the librarian and the secretary know the F.I.X Code, and the kids can come to the library or to the front desk to get a F.I.X Code, healing, because it takes a couple of minutes. You try it. It's very non-invasive. It's very relaxed. Children love it. But yeah, this can be done at any level. My clients are everything from CEOs to, 5-year-olds. We teach people this, again, from a corporate level right down to moms and healthcare workers and that kind of thing. And big part of the people that learn how to do this are practitioners, the healing practitioners, transformational healers, therapists, that kind of thing. They love this technique. But there's so many ways that you can experience this technique, where you can learn how to do this. You could become a client. You take me up on our complimentary session, which is you go to our website at thefixcode.com, and you can go through the opt-in and go through a little questionnaire, and then pick a practitioner and try this complimentary. It's free. So everything that we talked about today, you're going to all be able to try it if you wish.
Perfect. Yeah. So let's backtrack to the very beginning of Stacey Nye. So I like to find out like the beginning and like, how did you start this? What's your background? Is this something that just fell on your lap? Is it something that you studied for many, many years? So let's start from the beginning.
Sure. So I was born into a very high performing, very in-service family, Olympic game family. So both my parents were a part of the Olympic Games in the 76 Olympics. They were part of the Olympics before I was born in the 60s. But yeah, like I was born into an Olympic family. I was born in Montreal, and the Olympics were in 76, were in Montreal. Okay. So my playground was the Olympic Stadium, the Athletes Village, and I saw all of it before it was even a building. It was just like land breaking stuff, like with the shovels. And we, as I grew up, I watched all this thing build around me. And because of the level of how my parents were involved in it, I was involved in sitting in the corner or whatever, coloring, but listening to some of the most amazing minds build at the operational level, the sporting venues, the ethics, the services that the athletes were going to be provided, all of these things. So I fell in love with it. And like my developmental years was around excellence and creating excellence for excellence. So kind of it lined up with, I think, my personality, became my personality. I don't know, but I absolutely loved what my parents did. And when I was 16, my father asked me if I wanted to go to Scotland with him, because at the time he was the president of the Commonwealth Games Federation. And in 1986, the Commonwealth Games were in Scotland. And he said, would you like, to go, this being your summer job? And I'm like, yeah, because we had been trekked all over the world as kids. We do one summer was Olympics, one summer was Pan Am's, one summer was Commonwealth, and then we'd all have summer off. But that was my life. Like we got schlepped all over the world to all of these amazing events. So when I was 16 and my dad asked me going to work, and I was like, yes, please. And I loved it. I fell absolutely head over heels in love with the world of all of it. And I asked him if I could do this for a living. And his response was, oh, sweetie, there's no money in amateur sport. Like, we all do this for volunteer. I'm like, oh. And I thought, I'm doing this. And I said, Dad, I hope you're okay with this, but I'm going to figure out how to do this for a living. Like, I want to do. So he was like, sweetie, I've never stopped you before. Like, we think big. So whatever you want, go get it. And I did. I turned it into like a 20-year career, almost a 25-year career of bombing around the world, working on the Olympic Games, Pan Am Games, Commonwealth Games, and also very large international events for other industries. Like I did the International AIDS Conference when I was like 26 or something. Like I just loved the platform of global impact and supporting global issues and causes for amazing, brilliant people. I've never stopped doing that. Yeah.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
what did you do? Like, what was your like role?
A lot of different things, which was awesome, but always in like the operation side of things, like step by step by step. Like we got to get all the media over here. Like, how do we do that? And I'm like, okay, let me figure that out, or I'll sort something out. Or so it was always like really using my brain to solve a big problem into like one or two steps. So in hindsight, sitting here at 57 years old now, looking back over my life, all of that time, as much fun as it was, I was being trained and forged. My mind was being forged. My heart was being forged in a way that the moment I met Daniel, who is the creator and founder, like he's the one that created this technique. I just figured out what he did, and now I'm going to teach it for the world. But he remembered it. Like this is his genius. But I was being forged for that moment, that when I met the technique and Daniel, I knew I was in the presence of excellence. And when I met Daniel, I was a mess. I was brokenhearted, betrayed. My marriage had ended of 20 years of like something I never thought would end. It just, everything was just coming at me. And there was an incident back in 2002 that started a whole heap of terror. It was a trauma, like it was a night trauma, like without question. Like it was chaos. And I lost a lot that night. And I didn't have not one skill to help me through that terror, because I had never experienced anything like that kind of trauma. I had lived a pretty awesome, carefree unicorn life, right? Like I had been hurt in the past. I'd been betrayed by boyfriends, like whatever, like shit happened. Not like this night. This night scared the crap out of me, and it broke me in ways I didn't know I could be broken. And I could hear hell literally screaming in. Like I could hear it. It was terrifying. And I didn't know how to get out of it. So I just pretended it didn't happen. Well, we all know that catches up to us, right? So I was unraveling on the inside, but holding it together on the outside. I had a little person to take care of. I was a mom. I had a marriage. I owned a big business. I owned a gymnastics club, and it was 7 days a week, 14 hours a day, everything from gymnastics to moms and tots and prenatal and birthday parties. Like it was a big job and huge responsibility. So I didn't have time to fall apart. And I know that a lot of women feel that way, especially in my age group. It's like, suck it up, tough Jake. Let's go. Like we did not talk about how we felt. But our 40s were like, so what? Big deal. Gotta go. So we didn't talk about our feelings. That just wasn't my age group. We supported each other through crap, and everybody drank a lot of red wine and said, "Yeah, he's an asshole," or whatever, they backed you up. But there was no not like now. But I met the F.I.X Code when I was 40, which was pretty damn cool because my son was 5 at the time, and I met Daniel 45 days into it after I got separated. And it was kind of like a spiritual time in that I got separated. About 10 days later was New Year's Eve. I'm lying in bed. I'm reading this book, which I swore was going to be my last damn book of whatever, self-help. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. None of this works on me. I don't know what everybody else is talking about. I guess it works for them, but I'm the anomaly. I'm the one that just cannot figure it out. I cannot get past my shit. So I was lying there on New Year's Eve, just tears. My pillow was soaked and just please God help me. And I read the last chapter of this book that I said, I'm never reading another damn book. I'm done. I am done. And this last chapter said, there are people that are coming to the planet that are going to be able to help this emotional chaos that is on our planet right now. And I remember I literally did this. I looked up and I pointed my finger and I said, please God, let one of those people find me, please. And 45 days later, no shit, I met Daniel.
Wow.
And he did. And he was one of those people that could help all of this emotional chaos disappear in the physical body and the unconscious mind. And I don't know whether that was a prompt, a spiritual prompt of get ready, sweetheart, because your life's about to change. I don't know. But I went to bed that night with a little bit of hope, going, okay, maybe there are people out there. And I did just ask a really big favor. Please let one of those people find me. And about 43 days later, one of the moms from the gym, she was one of my coach's moms. So she came in and she knocked on my door at the gym, and I've got my son sleeping on the couch. And she knocked on my office door, and I'm in there crying in the dark. And she said, hey, sweetie, I hope you don't mind. I made you this appointment on Friday with this guy that I actually went to high school with. And I ran into him at a spiritual fair last weekend, this huge kind of street show thing. And she goes, he did this work with me, this woohoo shit, but it was so freaking awesome, and it worked. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, good for you, kind of thing. What is she telling me this for? And then she said, I hope you don't mind, but I was telling him about you because you know everybody, and you're a really good connector, and you help people, and it's kind of what you do. And I'm like, I kind of do. So she said, I booked you an appointment. I paid for it, so. But she said, I really want you to meet him, and I think that you really be able to kind of promote him and help him or whatever. And I'm like, sure. Meanwhile, I'm sitting back going, oh my gosh, if this man can help me, how cool would that be? Wow. So I actually had hope on this Friday morning. I dropped little one off at school. I'm now driving to this appointment, and I'm thinking to myself, if this guy makes me drink toad pee and it works, I'm investing in toad pee.
That's hilarious.
The same way I wish that when my son was born, I'd known about the ketchup thing. I would have been a multi-millionaire now from the bottles of ketchup I bought over his lifetime. But it would be like that. If this worked, I will do anything to keep getting better. So I met Daniel. I didn't even know his name by this. I walked in and just the look of and again, there was kind of a spiritual moment between the two of us, but it was just whoa. And then I burst into tears because I was super sad. He was like, oh my gosh, sat me down. He did the work, 5 minutes. As you know, It doesn't take very long. So I'm now sitting there, gobsmacked. My mind is on fire. It is what just freaking happened? That was awesome. Okay, that was quantum in motion. That's magic. That's science. That's spiritual. What the heck just happened to me? Wow. I knew I was in the presence of excellence. And I was like, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. Because I knew it worked. 5 minutes, I knew this thing worked. And then I went and shut my mouth off and said, I don't know what you just did, but I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to teach the world how to do this.
So right away you knew, in your heart, this is it.
I knew. Okay. I knew that everybody, especially women, because I said, I'm going to teach every woman how to do this. And I meant it because it's moms, it's daughters, it's grandmother, it's everything. And I feel men, I love you. I do. But it is the women that are nurturing and the queens of this planet right now. And they're all rising.
Yep.
And I just feel girls, it's on us now. We got this.
Yeah.
We got this. So I did. I became a client of Daniel's and he saved my life. This technique and his attention to me in this quadrant of emotional work changed my life, saved my life. And then I asked him to teach it to me because if you can teach me, and again, like for the first couple of years while I was his client and I was figuring out, asking him all this stuff, he would say to me, Stacey, you do know you are going to be one of the leading experts in our field. And I'm like, no. I am not a healer. I am not any of these things. No, I'm good. I will create the course. I will do all sorts of really cool things, but I'm never going to do this. And he would laugh at me, like straight in my face. He would laugh at me. Well,
here we are.
Here we are. All these years later, and I absolutely love it.
So you envisioned yourself just being behind the scenes, like just helping him with his craft, not being the main person doing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I am not I will do anything to not be on stage. I will. Oh my gosh. I am not a public person. I am so private. I am so quiet. I don't reveal my gushy thought like that. My ugly, like the mess. To be doing all of this took a lot to get me out of my comfort zone. To get so I absolutely had the fear of putting myself out there, the fear of being mortifyingly beyond embarrassed, the fear of saying something dumb, the fear of looking like I'm a fraud. I don't know, there was 100 of them because this was so out of my element. This was so not my natural state. My natural is behind the scenes, cute pair of jeans. Let's go. I am in the background over there. So, and loving every minute of it. But yeah, this has put me center stage up front. And for many years, it took my breath away, but I had to keep working through because I was being asked, whether it was by spirit, by God, by the world, I don't know, was you have to share this. You have to keep getting out there and putting this out there. And I had to walk through my fears. And the F.I.X Code did that with me. Time I got afraid or whatever, felt uncomfortable or was freaking out, the F.I.X Code helped. And it was gone every single time. And my life has changed completely. I'm not nervous about doing this at all. I think you were on my 4th podcast today, and I have one more to go.
Wow.
I do this for a living. I speak to people. I share this with people. I love what I do. And I can back this up all day long because it works.
I love how God he'll pick us up and throw us in something. And it's like, no, why? I didn't want this. I love it though.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And God does that to me, which is really cool because, many people ask me, does this ever end? Do you ever just get to a spot where you just feel fabulous? I'm like, I get to the end and feel fabulous all the time. And then I am asked to do something okay, next level. And I'm honored to do it because I do have the courage to do it because I have the F.I.X Code. The F.I.X Code gives me courage because no matter what I'm feeling, no matter how nervous I am or whatever it is, the F.I.X Code it's gone in 5 minutes. It's just identifying a new fear or a new level of something because I'm in a frequency I've never been in before.
Yeah.
I've never been this high. I've never been this exposed. I've never been this loud or whatever. When you talk to one person, it's one way. And then now I'm being asked to talk to 10 people. And then so that was getting over to talking to 10 people. Then it was asking me to speak to 100 people. It's so, and then it was, I want you to speak to 1,000 people. It's and now I'm speaking to 10,000. Just in the podcast that I've done today, the reach will come close to 100,000 people just of my work today. So I am being asked to be bigger and do more in service to humanity, to help people with anxiety, with depression, with whatever is hurting them. And this technique helps with all those things, no matter how you're feeling. And then it's training people, amazing people, to do this work, to then back this up for people. The more people we have doing this as a practitioner, the more people we could help do this, heal. Not everybody's going to want to learn how to do this. I totally got that at the beginning. I did not want to learn how to do this. It was no. But not having it, I can't even imagine not having the F.I.X Code in my life. And whether that is being a client, because I'm still a client, Daniel still does work with me. But teaching it is such a pleasure. It's such an honor. And the people that I meet are just incredible, and they are amazing healers. So I just get to add in. I'm just the the cherry on the top of everything they're already doing. So I feel very privileged that. We also have all of the practitioners that are waiting for anybody to just click the button and get a complimentary session. Like they're doing this for free. They're volunteering their time to pay it forward because they know how valuable this is too. So any of your listeners can go to the website at thefixcode.com and book a complimentary session. And then there's all the other fun courses that you can do, which is like breaking out of the maze and ignite your passion to purpose. And like, there's just so much fun courses too that you're not learning how to do this, but you are learning about you, and the courses ask you big questions that are stopping you from the life that you want in whatever areas. And then the courses are not expensive because the goal is that you spend the money on booking a practitioner to go through the course with you, to back up and support the healing that goes with the course. So we have something for everybody. Like, any way you want to play with us, you get to play.
Yeah. I just have a lot of questions. Okay. So my first one is, does F.I.X stand for something? Because it's the way it's spelled, it's F.I.X. So what does that stand for?
It does. So the F is for Flear, which is Daniel's last name. He's Daniel Flear. So the F is for Flear. The I is for the intuition that you and I had when we were doing the technique. We were in flow. We were in rapport, right? I was in harmony. You became in harmony, and then we were in rapport, and we did the work. So that's the I. It's the intuition, whether that's telepathic, whether that's through our hearts, whatever it is. But it happens. In the technique, it happens. The intuition comes. And then there's the X, which is for the extraction, which is what we did. And then code is the name of the code that we did with you, whatever that was. So to find the code part of the technique, I will ask your listeners, because I did this with you. I asked you the magic question and you gave me an answer, and that's what we did the work on. So here we go. Magic question. Biggest problem you have in your life right now, when you think about it, and nobody needs to tell me what it is, which is really cool. You don't have to expose yourself or tell me anything to be able to help. But when you think about that, how does it make you feel? If you could put it in one or two words, what would it be? And whatever your answer is what you can do with a practitioner. Go to the website and go through the little questionnaire, book a practitioner, and you get to book two. Like you get to try it twice for complimentary. Because I want you to find someone that you jive with. And they will ask you the magic question, just like I just did. Whatever you answer is what you're going to get the work done. And the work feels like a guided meditation. And it just takes a couple minutes. And as you know, it's very relaxing. It's non-invasive. Like there's no creepy moments or anything like that. It's just very smooth. And it will help. You'll feel better.
It's actually very interesting. So we did it 2 weeks ago, and it was 5 minutes, less than that. And then the rest of the time I was crying and you were talking me through it. But it's so funny because that day, I went to yoga. I felt good. Like I wasn't thinking about anything negative. And then when you posed that question, at first I was like, well, no, everything's going great in my life. There's nothing. But then it's like, no, let's be honest. Yes, there is something. And so that immediately came up. And then you made me go back in time to a place where, like it stirs up emotions. So it was interesting how I felt amazing. But then when you are being honest with yourself, if you're truly being honest with yourself, that's why it works. Because it's like, okay, yeah, we can pretend we're just bopping around the world and life just all happy-go-lucky, but there's always something that we've buried or something that stems from a long time ago that affects how we interact with people today. And even though I got very I think the reason I started crying because I got very tight in the chest and reliving that memory and where this all started. So yes, where I am today all started way over 30 some years ago, and just putting myself back in that place caused so much anxiety. But once I let it go, it was actually quite fascinating. I think the tears where it's oh my gosh, I'm releasing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. When I do love crying like that, it's a total release.
Yeah.
Your body's going, oh yeah. When my son was little, he would, people would say to him, what does your mom do for a living now that this massive club is closed? Because I closed that down and started doing this.
Okay.
And he would say, oh, she makes people cry.
Yeah. Well, you made me cry. You do that, but it's good.
Yeah.
I think crying is therapeutic. I mean, it is. Just let it out. And it's interesting how things have popped up since then that would. It's funny because like my brain is saying you should be very upset about this. Like your heart should be racing and like your stomach should be tight and you should be so upset right now, like thinking about it or talking about it. And it's been multiple times. It wasn't like literally the next day something popped up on Facebook that would piss me off, like the memory. And I'm like, why is this memory coming up? And it didn't make me upset. I was just kind of like, okay, and I wanted to get mad, but I didn't. So, and then a few things have happened since then. Yeah. And you did say things are going to come up that you're just going to feel so unbothered. And it's true. It really
and
is.
Imagine you did one.
Yeah, I only did one.
That was it. And imagine doing like 5 or like other stuff that bugs you. It's like it changes our lives. I met Daniel and this technique saved my life. It changed my life. It profoundly moved me to not feeling all of those horrible things. I no longer felt that night. I no longer felt betrayed. I no longer felt hurt. Mm-hmm. I no longer felt sad. I no longer felt abandoned. I no longer felt terrified. And when you add all of that up, you feel freedom. You felt freedom after one.
Yeah.
Imagine what like an 8-week session would, like an 8-pack would be. And I always say that 8.5 hours or 4 1 hours, your life will change. It will absolutely, completely change.
Another question that I have about the F.I.X Code is like, is it for anybody? Because like for me specifically, I've read a ton of books, self-help books. I listen to all the podcasts. Okay, maybe not all, but like, those, I'm all about figuring out how I tick, why I tick, letting go of the past, all of those things. Do you have to have any of that in order for this to work? Or can you just I haven't done anything to better myself. I haven't done anything to fix anything. You can just show up as you are. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was just like, I'm done. I'm done trying. And I had done a couple of stuff, but it was just like, didn't work.
Yeah.
Which was why I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to waste my time trying because everybody else seems to be able to figure it out and I can't. Like, whatever. Yeah. And the moment I met the F.I.X Code, that was it. It was over. Now, I work with everything from 5-year-olds to 95-year-olds. Some of my very favorite clients are in their 80s. I had this woman, God love, and again, I have so many stories. Like over the last 16 years, I've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of clients. And I used to do it in an office. So they would come to the office, and I would have this one little old lady. I would see she was about 87. This was a long time, 10 years ago now. And she had a walker. And I think I had known her maybe 3 sessions before that. And she'd always brought her walker and her husband dropped her off in the truck and the whole thing and helped her in every time. And, kind of like a farming couple, like they own the farm, Anyways, we did this particular extraction. I can't remember what it was, but in our session, and again, none of these women had ever done healing modalities or anything like that. Like they're in their 80s. And one person found out about it and then they told all their friends. So now I've got this whole slew of 80-year-olds coming to my house. They loved it. And the husbands loved it because they were like, I don't know what you're doing to our lives, but they are calm, relaxed, chill, good.
I love it.
But this particular woman came in with a roller, all good. And we did the work and she got up and walked out of the office, jumped into the truck, went home, jumped out of the car, got in, walked up the stairs, did her thing, was cooking dinner. And the husband really didn't know kind of like what to do. Mm-hmm. He was like, what's happening here? So he eventually said, I'm just going to go to the store with her. And he came back to my house because, of course, I have her walker. She had completely forgotten her walker. And I wasn't going to say anything because I was watching a miracle kind of thing going, holy smokes. And he came back and I opened the door and I kind of handed him the walker. And he just threw his arms around me and the tears were coming down his face. He goes, I don't know what you did, but I am forever grateful. Like,
wow.
She's 30 again. She's just kind of like dancing around the house and just like totally free. That's how this worked. I don't know how or what was attached to keeping her from walking or whatever it was, but miracles like this happen all the time in our world. All the practitioners can talk about it. I can talk about it. Like it just happens. So this changes our lives.
Yeah.
And it changes it quickly. And you absolutely do not have to have any background in knowing anything about anything to be able for this to work. Yeah.
I love that.
Like I said, I work with 5-year-olds. We call it magic.
So is the whole time, because I know you said you have like 30-minute sessions, hour sessions as well. Is there any talk therapy at all, or is it just going through that same process each time?
It depends.
Okay.
Yeah, the people that book an hour tend to like a little bit of talking. Like they need to sit back with me a little bit, get familiarized, you know what I mean? Like, and they want to be heard, right? They want to like tell a little bit of a story. And I let them, because the moment I hear the code, the parasitic program, I'm like, oh, can you think of anything? Oh, can you feel that? I'm like, oh, I can. I'm like, what would you call that? And they're like, ashamed. I'm like, oh, you want to get rid of that? And they're like, okay. So that's it. And then we get rid of it. So I do have a lot of clients that will kind of talk until I find it. And then I find it and we get rid of it.
Okay.
And that's just the rhythm. Some people, like my execs and all those guys, like the sporting guy, like the high performance guys and all that, they're like, they text me to say, losing my shit. And I'm like, okay. And I text them the question, biggest problem you have in your life right now, when you think about it, how does it make you feel? They text me the answer. I'm like, okay, call me. And they call me and it's all over in 5 minutes and they get on with their day. That's it. Like and that's the clients that they have me on a retainer where they can just text me and I work with them. And the only time I'm not available is if I'm on a plane, which I'm on a lot, and I'm on airplane mode, or I'm asleep because I'm in a different time zone or whatever. And I spend a lot of time in different time zones. But yeah, like I'm pretty available all the time.
Have you ever found that it didn't work on somebody?
Never.
Never. It works on anybody.
Now what'll happen is let's pretend the code is hurt. So I do hurt with them, and then they call me a week later and they're like, yeah, I don't think it worked. I'm like, okay, jump on. So I'll either jump on a phone call or on a Zoom, and I'm like, okay, let me ask you, can you think of anything in your past now that when you think about it makes you feel hurt? And they're like, oh, no, but I'm really freaking mad. And I'm like, okay, close your eyes. But it feels, and it's attached to the same event. So they're thinking about the same event, but it's a different feeling. Because they've been hurt by it for so many years, that was their default feeling. But it's gone. So they think it's the same, but they're not. Then we just clear piss off or whatever it is. Yeah. And then they look at me and go, damn, that's good. Yeah. Now they look at the event and they really can't feel it. Because sometimes there's like many feelings attached to the same event. Sometimes I can work an hour with somebody on the exact same event. They keep thinking about the same event, but it's every single time a different feeling. And by the time they walk out the door, that entire event is totally neutral, which is how we work with post-traumatic stress or disasters or like shock, like something like that. We just keep working our way through the same event. The goal is for it to be completely neutral, which is what Dan did with me. My trauma is now completely neutral. I was very quickly. It took about 2 weeks for me to get through a trauma that I couldn't breathe when it was like I was always in it. I couldn't get out of the trauma. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can totally relate to that. Because like I said earlier, it's like you're expecting these emotions, and then when they didn't come, it's like, well, what's going on? I should be really pissed off right now. Where is that emotion? Yeah.
Yeah. And body's not did not go through that, right? So it's not taxing, it's not pulling your power or your energy. It didn't come up into your mind and the story start, right? Like you didn't start yelling and screaming in your head or coming up with knees or whatever. And you just move on. Talk about intellectual freedom, right? Like you get your mind back because you're not spending all this time pissed off, and it's not pulling from your physical body. How cool is that? And you had one, like you dive in and kind of like do a package, or you get a bunch done. Your life changes. It just has to, because you don't feel that way anymore, and now you don't feel that way about all sorts of different things.
I might need to buy a few packages, because it's one of those things, like you said, it happened. It was one time, for one event. However, like you said, a lot of my things are attached to a few things from childhood that I'm just like, you think they're gone until something comes up, and then you realize it's not really gone. So that would be super helpful.
No, absolutely. So yes, please take me up on it for sure.
What is like with all of this? What is your main? Because I was looking on your Facebook, and I love your videos, because you're the reason I started this podcast. And you said in the beginning, sorry, men, but women. Like I agree. Like women, this podcast and bringing people on here as guests is to make us better versions of who we are, because we do carry so much in this world, and we are leaders, and if we're not healthy, then people around us are just like, what the F? Like what? Like husbands and children. And so I believe in all of this. I believe in us being healthy and just purging, and so a lot of your videos are about these kind of things, about listening to your intuition and like get out of your own way. So what is like your main message for women, for people?
Oh, well, learn how to do this or start doing this as part of like your mental health routine, like brushing your teeth. Check in where you at. If you have something running you and you're asking the magic question and you've got a feeling there, or you're finding yourself pissed off or hurt or ashamed or whatever this is, click the buttons and get rid of it. Go to thefixcode.com. Try this for free. If you like it, book sessions. Take action, because this is so fast in that you will drop the crap in your head so that you can be present with your kids, be present with your husband, not be screaming at them in your head. Like, we should never be that pissed off about shoes not put in the right place.
Oh my gosh. I wish I would have met you like 20 years ago when I had to work through that on my own with zero help. I'm like, I can't be a monster all the time over some dumb shit. Like, the fork not being put in the sink or in the dishwasher. So I've overcome that, but it was really, really hard. So this helps with all of that too.
All of it. Like, absolutely. Like, I love teaching moms how to do this, because they're not in this to do it as a practitioner kind of thing, or they're in this for their kids and their husband and their family and friends. And like, you stick around with your girlfriends on Friday night and you do the F.I.X Code with them. What a change, because you fix the mom, you fix the kids.
Oh, yes.
You fix the mom, the husbands are like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm not messing with this. This is good. They're happy. She's happy. And just keeps getting better and better. Like, this is a promise. Life just keeps getting better. So it's like one person out of all the group learns how to do this, and the whole group gets better. All the kids get better. And it's just something awesome to have in your back pocket. And if you don't want to learn it, then get a practitioner. It just blast through your shit so that it doesn't control you anymore. And that is what I love. Like, that's what saved me, this technique, was that I got to leave all the crap behind me, and I never ever look back, because it's not who I am. I'm not designed to feel like crap all the time. You know what I mean? And being a mom and having this, like, my child is now 22, 23 almost. He's been doing the F.I.X Code. He does not know a life without the F.I.X Code. He's been doing this since he was 5 or 6 years old. He's had the F.I.X Code in his life. So any horrible feeling that he has ever had, the F.I.X Code has been able to remove it. And so he's never sat in feeling bullied, or sat in anger, or sat in hurt for any longer than it took him to text me and say, "Hey, Mom, can you call me?" Or get in the car after school, and he jumps in the car and he would tell me right away, "Mommy, can you do the F.I.X Code with me? I feel bullied." And I'm like, "You got it, buddy. Close your eyes." And I'm doing the F.I.X in 5 minutes. He no longer felt bullied, and he never felt bullied again. You know what I mean? Like, and in most homes, this is an ongoing, never-ending feeling that a child has to keep going through. Parents have to keep sitting down. They got to go to the school. They got to do all sorts of things. Where with the F.I.X Code, it's 5 minutes. So I love teaching moms how to do this, because it is 100% off the charts empowering, and you get to like help everybody along. And I love also teaching practitioners, because I know that they're going to learn this, and then they're going to share it with all of their people, including their family and friends and their kids, but also their clients that are coming to them for help. So it's a never ending gift. It's just like we just paying it forward, and everybody that we help feels better really quickly though.
Well, thank you, Stacey. Is there anything else that we haven't covered that you would want to share?
Just that it's not your fault. If you're feeling crappy, it has nothing to do with what you've done or anything like that. It's not your fault how you feel. It's these things. It's these parasitic programs that are running the show, that are taxing your physical body and making you crazy in your head. And the F.I.X Code can stop that immediately. It just does. And so please click the button, try this, get help if like, we're here to help. We're here to serve anybody that needs help. And it's okay to ask for help. Like,
Thefixcode.com is where we can find everything about the F.I.X Code.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Stacey. I have a strong feeling I'm going to need your services this year.
You got it.
Because there's a few things that I just need to let go of. And not saying that, like you said earlier, things are always going to pop up, but I have to get rid of these last few things that are just,
Let's do it.
it's like old baggage. Just it has to go. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not coming forward with us. Like that's the thing. We're moving into a new earth. We're moving into a new frequency on this planet.
Yeah.
So and the way we get there is by clearing this stuff, getting rid of the old frequencies, the lower frequency to move into a higher frequency. Yeah, like we're also here for that, helping people get lighter so that they can move into the higher frequency and go through ascension.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. It's been a pleasure. I loved doing this 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to keep your number.
Please do. Email me anytime, pop it in my calendar anytime. You got the link.
All right. Thanks, Stacey. Thanks for coming on. All right. You too.
Yeah.
Bye.
I'll leave you all with this. You will overcome what you're fighting through. You will find inner peace. And one day this struggle won't feel as strong as it does now. Be patient and keep working towards healing. Thank you so much for listening to Virago 24/7. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and please give us 5-star ratings. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Virago24_7 and on Facebook at Virago24/7. And just connect with us and share your story. We'd love to hear from you.